Welcome back, HI General. How are you guys doing? The Jesus. My name is Levonant, aka Warfor120. Coming at you hardcore today with some fun stuff happening on the HI General panel. This is in the house where we bring it down hardcore with no gore. I'm not even sure what that means right now, but dang it, it sounds like a good thing to say. So somebody come on and tell me what's going on, Bay. By Bay, I mean come on, Scotty. How you doing, girl? What's up, Scotty?
This is John, aka ScottyDrPepper, and you said the General Jesus, and I was like, oh, that's my dad's name. It's Jesus.
Well, you know what? Maybe I know him.
Yeah, you do.
Maybe I owe him some money, and I'm just trying to give him some shout that way he doesn't like break my knees. Anyway, we also got ourselves another homie in the house. That homie is a name named Mouse. What's up, Vampire? How you doing, buddy?
Hello, everyone. Vampire218 here. Super hyped to be back on another in the house because I don't know if you knew this, but like Cory in the House, that was my favorite anime as a child. So
That's an anime.
pretty hyped.
Yeah, that was a great anime.
Every time a vampire introduces himself or says his name, I imagine him like waving really frantically at the camera, like hi.
Wait,
Because I'm 5.
wait, you don't think he does? I mean, I think he totally does. I think he's just like totally fangirling out at himself. Like,
Oh my God, it's that
He's
Vampire218.
like a kid on
What?
pixie sticks.
yeah, it reminds me of like Pixie Sticks and the very first time I had a caffeinated drink, and I remember I sprang through the house and ran into a wall at full speed. It was awesome.
Boom, Texas. God,
Texas Justice.
Texas. All right, this episode of In the House brought to you by the IDL, the Infinity Draft League, which is entering its third week. It entered yesterday.
It entered on
It entered
November
its third week
14th.
on November 14th, which this is coming out on the 15th, so yesterday.
Infinite battles, endless possibilities. Come on.
Really fun.
On the 13th even.
As two
actually.
competitors, real fast. How's that going? How are y'all
Well,
doing?
I have an opponent this week that I plan on taking to the woodshed.
Ooh.
What he doesn't realize is that he's going to be the one. He may take me to the woodshed,
So
but
are
I'm
you
going to be
battling
the
each
one
other
with the
this
paddle.
week? Are you battling each other this week? Please tell me.
We are
Mhm.
battling each other this
that's
week.
So great.
I've gone
So-
through 7 iterations of my team so far.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
and I
And I'm
haven't
not
even started-
done yet.
And I still haven't even started team prep.
I'm prepping for every
That
contingency.
makes me remember my matches with the two of you last season, where Levo got his much-deserved revenge on me,
Oh yeah.
and then
Oh.
Vampire learned his place.
Vampire, you
And
put
one of
Vampire in the
longest-
corner.
That was one of the longest battles too.
I'm not gonna lie, like I skipped like 90% of those turns because I was just like, nah, I'm good. Like I can't do
All you
this.
do is see the end where I won.
Yeah, just go. Oh yeah, Scotty wins. Awesome. you and your Chansey spam, man. Like it was just mean. I was
can
like,
do Chansey. I can do Chansey like no one's business. Right now, I'm in the Pokemon Showdown Hoedown Season 2, PSHS, and that's with my friends from Australia, a lot of them. But last night, I was like, okay, the season's wrapping up. I'm moving on to other things. Sun and Moon's about to come out, so I really don't care about finals. And I was like, alright, these other two people really do care about finals. So I was like, come on, battle me. I made my team in 5 minutes. I was like, I really don't care. He knocked me down to my final 2 Pokemon, Aerodactyl and Chansey. I won 2-0.
Yeah.
Because
Aerodactyl's a beast, man.
he could-
Aerodactyl's a beast.
I had a Scarfed Aerodactyl that could
Oh.
clean up his team, but he lost like 5 Pokemon to Chansey.
Mm.
Chansey itself with Toxic Wish, Protect, and Heal Bell
That's
swept his
telling
team.
you.
very saddening.
If you don't play careful, man, like
If you don't
Chansey
have
can.
knockoff, you don't have everything
Yeah,
ready for Chansey.
'Cause
then you just-
that's how I beat Chansey. You just happened to switch into a knockoff, and I was like, yes.
Yep, right away. I can when I'm just goofing off and I have a Chansey, I can have a lot of fun. But okay, so we're gonna talk. All right, so guys, we're gonna talk some spoilers. Levo and Vampire are gonna ruin some things. No, they're not gonna completely ruin, but they're gonna talk about things that I really don't know about Sun and Moon because I've stayed in the dark for a whole lot of it. Game
Now, the
comes
thing
out
is that-
Friday.
And the thing is, Scotty DP here, he is sober and of his own choice right here. I have asked him 16 times, are you sure?
I'm
Because this guy, just so you know, this guy is so committed right now. He actually unsubbed from my channel just because he doesn't want to learn any information. And I'm like, you're my bestie though, bro. Like you unsubbed from my channel and you're my bestie.
I
He's
thought it
like,
was-
yeah,
I thought it
I don't
was-
want to learn anything.
I thought that was fun and that would bring attention to your videos.
Oh
So
gosh,
you're welcome.
yeah. But it was still hilarious. I was just like,
Oh, Mom,
okay,
Dad are
wow.
fighting.
Yeah, mom and dad are fighting. Someone call Uncle Jeff.
Uh-oh.
And by Uncle Jeff, hello, vampire.
Hello, Uncle Jeff here, everyone, and
Of
we're
course
going to
Uncle
talk
Jeff is
about
Canadian.
what's the very first thing we're talking about here,
We're talking
Levo?
about
We have
updates
quite
to
a few on
old
the
We're talking about these new the
Okay, so we're
old
gonna
mods,
talk-
new stuff.
Okay, so there's quite a few. I don't even have the doc.
Okay,
here
so I
open.
know nothing about what's happened to old mons other than Alolan forms, but on Twitter I did hear mention of Gengar. I know not what has changed to Gengar.
Wow. Let me
It's
tell you about
possible.
Gengar.
Did it get a
So
buff?
back
A
in
much
Generation
needed
1,
buff?
Gengar was weak to something called Ground.
Yes,
And it was weak to Ground in Generation 2. But then come Generation 3, it got a nifty little ability called Levitate.
We're still
Wow.
weak to ground. If
Well,
you
it's still
have
weak to ground, but
Moldbreaker
it's now immune.
or
However,
Gyro.
in Sun and Moon, this is no longer the case, as they have removed Levitate and replaced it with Cursed Body.
And the scary thing about this is that this is
Wow.
really the first time that Gengar is actually exposed to possibly not being in the OU tier. It's the first time in 20 years.
Wow.
That's the scary thing about it, man. I mean, this is a Pokemon
Has
who's
it
been
in
OU
every
since Gen
generation?
every gen
Mhm.
OU since day one, since day freaking one. And you know what the scary thing about it right here? It isn't just the fact that they removed the levitate ability. They also nerfed Destiny Bond as well. You know, they made it to where like it works like Protect, where if you go multiple turns in a row, that it no longer works. So those two things combined really
Wow.
hurt Gengar.
Wow.
And that's really, really rough, because you think of Gengar, and you think, that is one of the Pokemon, Alakazam, it was one of the Generation 1 sweepers, They had Machamp for the physical side, but Machamp doesn't see as
Persian
much
and
play.
Tauros. Persian and Tauros were
Well,
Generation 1 sweepers.
yeah.
And Dragonite.
Exactly, but even
Speed-based
them,
crits.
they're not as relevant. Like Alakazam isn't even as relevant as Gengar right now, because, Mega Alakazam...
For a while.
Well, exactly. It's in UU, but Gengar is just so relevant in OU right now that it's
Even
going
without being Mega, it's still relevant. That's the scary thing about it, though. That seeing this thing finally, they may have finally nerfed it enough to where it's no longer be OU, which is just it's sad because it's one of the original OG Kush killers. And you know what? It's been able to hang on through Mega Evolutions. It's been able to hang on through the invention of items, abilities, everything. It's been able to stand up to new typings. And you know what? It's finally getting nerfed out of OU possibly. And it's just kind of a sad day for my old buddy Gengar.
I think it's that. I mean, we've already been seeing a slight declination in Gengar, because like if you think about any league you do with tiers, how often is Gengar as a tier 1 Pokemon grabbed?
Oh, almost always.
Almost always. I
No,
rarely ever see it grabbed.
I've rarely ever seen Gengar get
Rarely
picked.
ever
And
see
in,
it.
Oh, not get picked, but in league, like
I'm saying
in UCL it's tier
I'm talking
1
about
in
UCL, I'm talking about in like GBA style
yeah,
format.
well, UCL it gets picked. UCL style
Well,
drafts it gets picked, but
I'm talking GBA tiers.
GBA style
GBA is
it never
tier
gets
1.
picked.
It's tier 1, and
Yeah,
it's so
it never gets
rarely
picked in GBA. And it's not because it's not powerful. It's because it doesn't
just
fit on teams
outclassed.
very well.
Well, the reason for that is because it's easy to counter in a counter league format. But we're not going to sit here and talk about leagues for these Pokemon. We're going to go on to another Pokemon that got what I
This is
think is a
crazy.
buff, and this is Beartick.
Beartick,
I
huge
would
buff.
love a Beartick buff.
Oh, absolutely. So, right now, Beartick, it's okay, but you don't really see it outside of, what tier is it even in? Like,
PU.
NU, PU?
PU or
So-
NU.
Right now,
Even
it's
with
getting
Switzerland.
it's getting a 20 attack buff, bumping it to 130 physical attack.
Which is
But
face
that's
breaker
not-
status.
Well, that's not the only thing that it gets. It's getting a new ability called Slush Rush. Now, Scotty, can you guess what Slush Rush does?
We're gonna imagine that its speed increases in hail.
Exactly. Now, this is not the only mon to get Slush Rush. However, this is the most relevant one that we're going to talk about.
Beartick is PU.
So
Yeah.
this is the kind of thing that could actually make snow teams be relevant. Because right now, you have sand, you have rain, you have sun. Now, sun's not as relevant as rain and sand, but with Slush Rush, you're bumping up Beartick's, which mediocre speed, absolutely mediocre, which is currently at, I'm just looking up it right now,
5.
50. It's at 50. So it's kind of like an Excadrill almost in what it can do, because Beartic isn't bad. Beartic's not bad by any means. It gets a decent coverage. It can set up, but it's really lacking in the raw power and speed, which it's getting, and that's what's important. Lee, do you want to take us over the next one?
Well, here's the one I'm most excited about. Okay, and I actually did a video on this on my personal channel about this one. This one is the one that I'm super lit about. It's Creogonal. Okay, Creogonal got the biggest buff of all, in my opinion. Here's the thing: Creogonal is a special wall, 135 special defense. Boom shakalaka. I always use it as a choice scarfer. It's a choice scarfer for me. Amazing scarfer, face breaking power. Because you know what?
Amazing special attack.
Yeah,
decent move.
It's a great mon. It's a great mon. And you know what?
Dry.
One thing was holding this Pokemon back: its ability to take physical hits. And you know what? They helped this mon out so much.
Defense?
Yeah, no, at 30 base defense.
30 because it's a snowflake.
30. And the thing was that they made it so much better for being able to take those physical hits. Because now they bumped its HP from 70 to 80. So that's a 10 HP boost. It means at level 100, we're seeing 20 extra HP back on the Pokemon now. Boom, shakalaka, with no investments at all. The big thing, though, the defense. The defense got raised by 20, from 30 to 50.
Nice.
So here's the thing. Think about this. One of the things that I use Creogonal all the time in the OU tier. And I use it all the time as a late game cleanup batter. Come in there with a choice scarf on the ice beam and just pop, 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 pop. So what was scary about this though is that if the opponent still had, say, an Azumarill on their roster, Azumarill choice banded huge power Azumarill can come in with an Aqua Jet in Generation 6 and have like an 81% chance to OHKO me. That's not good, even at full health. And you know what? That was kind of an issue. I could tank fire attacks on the special attack side, but I couldn't tank, an Aqua Jet from Choice Banded Azumarill. Yeah. And that was what was scary for me in Generation 6 meta. I've done the calcs now. With these buffs right here, it's no longer going to be able to do more than 70% HP hit on Creogonal, which doesn't sound like a big deal. It's a huge deal.
It's a huge deal.
It's a big deal. Exactly, because now I can take a hit. I can take a physical hit from most Pokemon, and that's a huge deal for a late game sweeper to be able to take more hits.
You think we'll also see more Creogonal Rapid Spin usage?
It becomes more viable, definitely, because one of the things that was really the only PU set that you actually see officially on Smogon's site is the Rapid Spin set. But the problem is it couldn't take the physical hits, so why would you even bother using Rapid Spin for it? It's a face breaker. And you know what? Whenever you use this Pokemon as a face breaker now, it's going to be able to get more usage out of it. And I'm excited about this. Super excited.
What else?
And there's really just one more that I want to talk about, and it's just each weather is getting another mon that can learn weather
really
or
cool.
has
Y'all mentioned
the
this
ability.
a little bit before we started recording, and I really want to know what these mons are because I love weather. I love weather.
Absolutely.
I love rain especially.
Well, we're going to go into rain last because it's the least relevant, but it's the one you're looking forward to. So Sand is getting Gigalith, getting Sandstream, and that's really cool.
So it goes from Gigalith then has Sturdy, Rockhead, and Sandrush or Sandstream or whatever.
Sandstream. Yeah.
Those abilities now.
I believe so. So for Drought, we have Torkoal, and this is pretty big because I think that this can make Torkoal usable in leagues because it's okay right now, but this gives it a huge buff.
You think it's gonna go
absolutely
from tier 5 easily up to like tier 3 or 4?
No, tier 4. Tier 4.
Sure though.
And here's the thing though, what's made this Pokemon it has the wall potential, and it's one of the few fire Pokemon that actually can wall. Here's the thing about fire Pokemon. Fire Pokemon don't wall very well in general, because even if the ones that are bulky builds still get destroyed by water-type moves in general. And that's one of their biggest issues. Volcanion and Heatran are really the only hardcore Pokemon that can actually stand and wall and be viable up in high tier competition in the fire type pool. That's not banned to Ubers, and that's one of the things that's really cool to see. Another Pokemon in the fire community get a bit more of an edge to be that viable Pokemon. That's what I like to see right there.
I think.
And
do you think we'll see a lot more Shell Smash?
I don't think Shell Smash, but but not on Torkoal. But I definitely think that we're going to be seeing it, be used in that combo team, with a combo Grassmon, with a combo Firemon in the rear. It's going to be a helpful team. I could see somebody easily rocking a dual drought team in terms of having Torkoal and Ninetales in whatever tier they end up in. That'd be horribly mean right there. It'd be awesome.
Does Torkoal get Solar Beam? Yes, it does.
I don't think so.
It does.
But it does.
It does. I'm looking
Well,
at it right
it's
now.
still just relevant.
The cool thing about
because
Torkoal
now
too
you
is
can
you get your Stealth Rocks, you get Rapid Spin, you get Lava Plume, and Solar Beam. Boom, there's a set.
Exactly.
Well, you also get yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're going to see more spinning, and because Ninetales is good, and I have it in the IDL. I can attest. It's a great mon, but you don't always want to bring it because sometimes you don't want to have to bring your Sunsetter as offense, and Ninetales just doesn't have the support capacity.
This gives you support. This gives you great support with him.
Anyway, moving on. Vanillux is the one to get the snow warning.
Snow warning. Sweet.
So it's relevant. It's a Pokemon that's used here and there. I think this will definitely increase its use simply because now your Ice type moves are doing 50% more, and that's just Vanillux already hitting pretty hard with Ice type moves. Doubling it. That's always good.
Yeah, one of the cool things about this Ice type buff is that at least from league standpoints, Tier 5 has always been the Ice type tier, at least in my opinion. Like if you're not looking for an Ice type in Tier 5, you make a mistake.
Levo and I have had this conversation many a time. Cryogonal,
Exactly.
Avalugg, Vanillux, not Wilren, just not Wilren, pretty much. Sorry, Matrix.
No,
it's true.
Lapras.
Glaceon, Lapras, Jinxie.
Articuno, Jinx.
Articuno, exactly.
Jinx. Articuno,
That's the
my MVP of PMU.
That's the team. That's the tier that you go hunting for an Ice type in, unless you're going to get Kyurem, or Kyurem Black. Like that's just where you go.
Is Sneasel Tier 5 or Tier 4?
It is. It is Tier 5.
No,
it's Tier 5. It is Tier 5.
What?
It's Tier 5.
Like I'm saying,
that's
where
not
you
right.
that's where you go hunting for an Ice type at, and that's why it's amazing.
Unless you want
That's
Weavile.
insane.
Unless you want Weavile, that's definitely where you go.
Yeah,
Well,
and those of you guys who are Mamoswine haters out there, like, yeah, I get it. Mamoswine exists also, but like,
Mamoswine,
that-
Piloswine's great too. Piloswine's
they're-
great. I'll even take a Delibird.
what I'm trying to say is that for a bargain price, Tier 5 is where you go hunting for Ice types. And you know what? Vanillux is another example of this Pokemon that got passed over a lot in Generation 6. But for it to have now an Ice type setting ability, that's very helpful. This could actually make it a bit more usable in Tier play.
Does it get Snow Warning is pre-evolution or just that full?
It's only the final mons that are getting
so
these
it's
abilities.
It's
So
like
Mhm.
Politoed.
Drizzle,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Translate
talking
that.
about the Drizzle one, it's actually Pelipper
Pelipper.
that's getting the
Pelipper have Storm
Drizzle.
Wave?
I don't think so, but Pelipper's not really that relevant. I mean, it's nice that now we have a second mon who's able to drizzle outside of Kyogre. And that's really what they have needed for a
Drizzle
long
is-
time.
Drizzle was purely Politoed for a long time. And
Well, absolutely. You know what? Rain is one of the most. Is actually probably the best weather in
I
my
think it's the
opinion.
best.
Just for what
Yeah.
it does.
It's the most viable as a solo team.
Oh,
I think it does
absolutely.
great because it helps your fire Pokemon. I mean, it helps your steel Pokemon greatly.
Well, it helps your
Helps
fire
you-
Pokemon. It helps your steel Pokemon. It helps your.
fire.
It does help fire because
And electric.
It helps
Oh, you're right. No, it
Sneeze,
doesn't help your
Thunder,
fire Pokemon.
100%.
Now, the problem with Pelipper getting
Hurricane
this ability,
100%.
though, the problem with
Hurricane,
Pelipper getting
yeah.
this ability, though, is that Pelipper is four times weak to electric, and it's basically boosting accuracy of electric attacks right here. So,
Well,
you know,
Thunder.
You'd have to bring Thunder. So for League, we'll see counter Thunders being brought.
exactly. We'll see more compoundized Thunder Galvantula.
Well-
Then again, here's another support weather setter because you get.
It's
your Scald,
relevant
you get
to
your
say, though,
Defog,
that-
you get U-turn.
Yeah.
It's relevant to say that Drizzle and Drought are currently banned in Smogon. Although I'm wondering if this might shift
Back to
that.
the weather.
Probably not.
It gets
But
knockoff. It gets knockoff. If they give it Hurricane in Gen 7, then boom. That
give
is
which
my mon.
Pokemon Hurricane?
It does have Hurricane. It does have Hurricane.
Yeah, it has Hurricane,
It does
dude.
have Hurricane. Okay, so we're gonna see Scald, Hurricane, Defog, knockoff. I think. Or
I
Roost.
mean, it depends all on if they unban Drizzle Drought.
I don't care about that. I'm talking about League.
Oh,
Or
in
U-turn.
League, yeah, you're
Or
fine.
U-turn. I'll
Boom,
use it
shakalaka.
on Showdown too.
Boom,
It's fine.
Anyway, let's move into the next thing here, which is,
Yeah,
I
we've
think
been
it's
doing like 20 minutes.
the speed.
Just cool.
Keep going.
I have no idea what this topic's about.
Well, Levo, do you want to inform him? I think you know
what?
what I'm talking about.
Oh,
About Alolan speed.
I mean, I hate to go over this right now because like it just pissed me off whenever I was looking over the original information. Look, as far as the overall generation, it's a very cool generation. You've got a lot of glass cannons and a lot of walls. Not very much in between right there. And sadly, though, so many of these Pokemon are on the slow side. And when I say slow side, I don't mean sub 100. I mean sub 50.
So
I'm not joking.
Do you think it's very much like a Gen 2 kind of push to balance some things? Like overcorrect for Gen 5 overpowering and Gen 6 mega overpowering?
Well, the problem with it though is that I think that it's kind of what we're seeing right here, where it's flooding the pool with a bit more mediocre Pokemon. And I'm not saying that to hate on any Pokemon. What?
Just kind of toning back. Just be like, hey,
Yeah.
sorry about
Yeah.
that.
But
Sorry about
it's
Gengar for 20 years.
Yeah, I think they're trying to do something like this as a way to help kind of balance things out to where the Pokemon that are special stand out more as being special, and the Pokemon that aren't special, don't feel as left out in the cold. Because there are a lot of situations where you look at some of the Pokemon, and you're just like, Mightyena, you're a joke, and I'm like, I love Mightyena, but it is a joke in terms of competitive play. But there's a lot of Pokemon in this generation that Mightyena totally tanks on,
That's cool.
and just because of speed issues. I'm not going to go into individual Pokemon right here, but I remember when I looked on stream with the Vampire, I looked on stream and it took me like 15 Pokemon just to find one over 100. And
The one over 100 shouldn't be, really.
Yeah, and when it comes down to it, there were Pokemon that Pokemon from a previous generation had the build of that made sense for it to have priority in order to counteract it having no speed whatsoever, like Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr Mach Punch is very important for Conkeldurr. No Mach Punch, Conkeldurr is useless pretty much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the problem is though is that you got Pokemon like that. You got a lot of Pokemon that you feel like would benefit from the same type of situation. Pokemon that are built like Conkeldurr, like Azumarill. Pokemon that really need priority to be viable, and they didn't get it. And it was just like, come on, man, seriously, this makes no sense at all.
One of the other
go ahead and
things-
make a note that including Megas, there are 137 Pokemon with at least 100 base speed or higher.
And that's you got to remember, fully evolved Pokemon is
And
what.
that's from previous generations, right? That's from previous generations.
Yeah,
Just so you know,
Gen
that
6 on. That's Gen 6
Gen 6 on.
and below.
That means that we're talking about if you include Mega Evolutions, we're talking about like what 805 Pokemon, I think, something like that, or like not 805, like 750 something like that. But
Well, 721 before Sun and Moon.
before Megas.
Well, before Megas, yeah, you're right. We're much
so
after
Like
that.
we're probably like at like what 750 or 760.
Well,
with
no,
Megas?
there's like what 68 Megas.
They're not
There's
that many.
Yeah, there is.
There's like 40
There's
maybe tops.
721 Pokemon. So
There's maybe 40
Volcanion
Megas.
is 721.
How many Megas are there?
Oh, I have to check.
How many Mega Pokemon are there? There are 48 different Mega Evolutions.
Okay, so we're looking at 759 Pokemon. So
Yeah.
if we have 137 Pokemon out of 759, 69, they're looking at 137 out of 769. We're looking at roughly what percentage-wise? I mean, we're looking at a pretty big percentage of our Pokemon that have that kind of speed. Not like
But
an
even
overpowering.
that's what you've got to remember. Fully evolved Pokemon. You can't expect like the regional bug or the regional bird to have that
Yeah.
kind of speed.
So if you could include fully evolved Pokemon, you're looking at probably what 35-40% of your.
oh,
of your
way
field.
more than that. I'd say almost 40. Yeah, I'd say about 40% probably.
44, probably 40% of your fully evolved
about
Pokemon.
18% of the Pokemon.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that's
all
not
Pokemon.
being fully evolved. Like
Yeah.
that's. You
Yeah,
gotta
if we
think
look at fully evolved, we're cutting the number by about half at least.
Mhm, and then
so we're really growing. We're looking at probably about 40% of your Pokemon actually that are fully evolved, actually having that kind of speed. That's a big deal right there. And when you take away When you introduce a generation that is very very subpar in that regard, you feel it pretty quickly. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like there are Pokemon in this generation that have speed. There are, and a lot of it has to do from the fact that this generation has legendary spam out the chicken sandwich.
Yep.
And you know what? That's kind of the problem right there. Is that I'm an old school guy. I'm a fan of I want four legendaries per generation. You know what I'm saying?
Right
Like
now,
I
this
want
sounds like if Gen 2 and Gen 5 had a baby, it'd be Gen 2 and Gen 5, Gen 7, boom, right there.
oh my gosh, you're right.
Gen 2 as far as like the power decreep, and then Gen 5 as far as like here's legendaries to make up for power decreep.
Yeah, and here's the thing is that I hated. Well, that's one of the things I hated about Gen 5. Like don't get me wrong. Like when I say I hate, I still love the individual Pokemon, but like I'm a huge fan of like keep legendaries legendary. Like when you keep
cool, keep some mystery about them. Like
don't give me 40 each generation to where
don't make
all of a
super
sudden.
plot driven.
Yeah.
Remember in Pokemon Red and Blue when you had to go fight Mewtwo? No.
Yeah.
Remember when you had
Like-
to go fight Mew? No. But
When you had to
read
go
about it
out of
in
your
the
way to
book.
fight him.
Remember
When you had to go out of your way to
remember when
find him.
Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno were thrust upon you, like story driven? No. You found
They were
them.
never-
If you didn't find them, you
Well,
learned
too
about
bad
them
for
through
you.
a friend who was like, "Yeah, I went and surfed after, to the power plant." And you're like, "What's the power plant?"
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, that cave you never went to. Yeah, go back in there.
Articuno's in
You
there.
know. Yeah,
You
and
found
that's what it
Moltres and
was.
you're like, Tres means 3. I learned that in school. There's
Or like how about
more.
Or like, how about the Regigigases? The Reggies. Where you had to like,
those are fine. Yeah, those are good too.
those were like impossible to get because you had to like get a Feebas, which was impossible, and then you had to like,
Relincamp.
oh sorry, Rowan-Camp, and then you had to like go to like one exact spot.
Wailord,
Mhm.
Digfly,
Yeah.
Cuts and stuff like that. The first time I played Ruby, I had no idea that there was going to be another legendary, and so when I got to Rayquaza, I'd already used my Master Ball, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What is this?" And I ran into a shiny Rayquaza legitimately in Pokemon Ruby,
No
and I
way.
couldn't catch it because it knocked itself out from.
You're like, stay in the ball.
It
Stay in the
struggled
ball.
itself, and I was freaking out because it was the first shiny Pokemon outside of like Gyarados that I had ever seen.
But like with this generation, with the fact that we have the 4 Tapus, we have all the Ultra Beasts, which
Oh
are
my God,
which
all
I'm
the
gonna
Ultra
which I'm gonna
Beasts.
say. I'm gonna say
I'm
that those are
gonna count them
legendary.
all as
Those
far as,
are
like-
treated.
Oh, they are definitely.
They're being treated like legendary.
Yeah,
They're
they're at
legendary.
least in that class of like, here's something that's not a regular Pokemon.
Exactly. And and then you also have the box art trio, which is going to be the Solgaleo, Lunala, Marshadow, maybe whatever else. But that's what I'm talking about.
I
Right?
didn't even know there was a trio yet.
Well, we don't know if it's a trio yet either.
we don't know if it's a trio yet. We're
I
just
imagine
saying
it's
like
a
know
trio.
of three.
we also have the movie one Magirna, which we already talked about from a year ago. But here's the thing, I was hoping for a generation more like Generation 1 or 2, where you really didn't introduce a bunch of legendaries. Like,
And now we're getting like 16.
yeah, that's just a bunch.
Speaking of legendaries, let's go into the Ultra Beasts here because I think
Okay, that was the
that's
main thing we
something-
wanted to talk about last week. And
Yeah.
we didn't get into.
Yeah.
So now we know, I guess, that there are 7 or possibly 8 Ultra Beasts. And before anything else, I want to say I am very excited for the Ultra Beast by the name of Nelegio.
Is that the one
And
that was officially released?
I'm not sure
today?
which one that is, but I'm
Yeah,
really
this
excited.
one was Ultra Beast 01 originally.
Okay.
So I'm really excited for this because of its typing. And Levo, can you explain to me why I'm excited? Or explain to John why I'm excited because of its typing?
Well, look, it's a rock poison Pokemon. I mean, it's just a Pokemon typing that we've. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, yeah, exactly. It's just different. It's just very.
Have Ultra Beasts been confirmed as Pokemon or as not Pokemon?
They
yet?
are being confirmed as Pokemon. We don't know exactly how they're Pokemon or what.
Well, we don't know if they're Pokemon, but we know that we
If
can
they
catch
have
and
types
battle.
and you can catch them, then sure, why not?
Yeah,
It's a
they're
Pokemon.
Well, exactly. But it's a legendary poison type. This is our first legendary poison type.
Never had one ever, and that's really what the coolest thing about this, man. That's what's one of the big issues that Poison always had. If you look at Poison type, like Poison type's always been one of the lowest base stat total average Pokemon types, and it's because they have no legendaries. Even Bug has legendary with Genesect and sorry, not Salve, but Genesect. And so I mean, we've never had that
Pseudo,
before.
At least with Volcarona.
Yeah, we had a pseudo with Volcarona too, and Poison never had anything close to that. And for it to finally get that ghost,
Yeah.
sorry, they get that Poison type, in there with Nihilego is freaking cool.
Yeah.
It's freaking cool.
And then we have some other just really unique typings, some bug fighting ones being the two, I guess, the other two that were revealed, the big bug and the other bug that are version exclusives. Yeah, the version exclusive ones.
Oh, are they version exclusive? Do we know what version each one goes
We've
to?
known their version exclusives since they were announced like that. I'm not sure which version, but it's right on Cerebi. It was in an official trailer.
I will say one thing about these Ultra Beasts, though. They have now. Can I go into their abilities the one ability that they all have, or we want to keep?
Oh,
I
yeah.
have no idea what it is. Go ahead.
Okay, their ability is essentially a controlled Moxie. Okay, Moxie, as you know, it just increases your physical attack stat whenever you knock out a Pokemon. Their ability is called Beast Boost, and the reason why we know it's going to be we know it. Originally, people were like, "Oh, well, it's just going to be whatever the highest stat is." No. It's not the highest base stat. It's the highest invested stat. We know this to be the case because one of them actually has a double highest base stat and as two stats that are the equal base stat. So we know it's called the actual term is called proficient, most proficient. Proficient means the one that you are best at, which means the one that's going to be the highest one that your Pokemon actually has itself.
Wow.
So we got ourselves a Pokemon
So it's
that we can
stat, not its highest base stat.
Correct. So we actually can control which one gets boosted. So for a lot of these Pokemon, these aren't chummy Pokemon. These aren't weak Pokemon. These are legendary class Pokemon, and we're able to control their Moxie boost. So say you got one of them. I'm not going to go into individual details because I don't want to rip Scotty. But you know what? When it comes down to it, that's what makes these things so scary in the category of whether they're broken or not, because you can control that. And the question is, does scarfing, scarfing or specking or banding come into play with that? We don't know yet. But we're gonna find out.
Absolutely.
If it's based on a stat, because
yeah,
I don't think the item will make an effect, but I think we'll see them with an item for sure like that, because you get a Pokemon with a high physical attack. You get one of them.
Imagine putting an assault vest on one that has physical investment.
Exactly.
And they're just sitting there and taking.
Yeah, and there are a lot of them are very. Let's put it this way: they're very specialized mons. They're very specialized mons. These are specialized to the extreme in some of them. And you know what? We're going to see these things be absolute destructive power, creepy things that just destroy their places and stuff.
I'm looking at 5 of them right now. I'm looking at 1, 2. How are these things?
There's two of them because they're version exclusive.
Okay, so I'm looking at UB1. I'm looking at U2 Absorption, 2 Beauty, which is Moon, and then 2 Absorption is Sun. And I'm looking at Lightning. This is the first time I'm seeing half of these, and 5 Gluttony. If I had to guess them just based on their types, I would say UB1 is Ghost Fairy or Ghost Water. Or something like that.
I'm not going to ruin it for him. This is just hilarious.
I don't even know.
I think we already ruined that one for him. If that's what I'm thinking.
I think you did say that bug fighting was one, so I'd imagine that's
bug
absorption.
fighting is the 2 version exclusives.
Are they both bug fighting?
Yeah.
Beauty is bug fighting. Wow, I would have never guessed.
They're
that.
both bug fighting.
I would have guessed.
Well, they look like bugs.
I would have guessed bug fairy for Beauty.
Well, they both kind of look like bugs, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are bug. They have the huge antennae.
Now, one of them.
And clearly this one's going to be electric.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe and then this one looks like it's steel. This Gluttony looks like it's going to be steel with something else.
I think they've really done a good job with these things. These are legendaries. I agree. I
don't like these.
But these are going to really be what I like. This is different. You see one of these, this isn't your stereotypical legendary bird or something. This is something out of this world. And I think that that's going to be a big part of the story, and that's going to get me excited. It's not like, oh, a dragon controls the weather of this region. Oh, a different dragon controls this of this region.
They definitely feel different for sure, and I'm very curious to see how these things react and how these things are treated in the storyline themselves. But I will say this right now: most of these cannot and will not be allowed in OU or most leagues. There are a couple of them that could actually work. Like
yeah.
legendary group, there are clear winners and losers, but for the most part, these are as a whole are going to be suspect tested day one. Let's just put it that way. With that ability that is a controlled moxie.
I feel
And you know what's really scary about that, Levo, is these are confirmed VGC legal.
Yes, that makes VGC scary.
Well,
so they got rid
there's
of
even-
megas and they got rid of things like that, but here are the Ultra Beasts.
Yeah,
Here
and
are
they,
And what
on
people
your
are already
farm.
saying is that it's going to be a 2 Ultra Beast confirmed team. Like, you're going to need 2 Ultra Beasts. Because right
least.
now they have the thing where it's only, 2 legendaries?
they have 2 banned. They have last season they had it to where you could have they have a banned list, and you could have 2 mons per team that were on the ban list.
And I
So,
think they're
like-
going to do that with the Ultra Beasts. Because,
So they you could have some people had like Kyogre and Mega Primal Kyogre and Mega Rayquaza, but you could only have 2 of them. You couldn't have Primal Kyogre, Mega Rayquaza, and then something else that was banned or whatever. I mean, but that was the idea essentially that people did that. You know?
Alright, is there anything else about Ultra Beasts y'all want to talk about, or are we going to move
I mean-
into this other...
I mean, I don't want to spoil anything for you, so no, I don't want
But
to.
I think we're going to go into your theory, though.
Now, I do have a theory, and this is actually one thing I published on my actual channel recently, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, Scotty. So check this out. Throughout history of Pokemon, there's always been different kind of classes of legendaries, correct?
Yes.
All right, and you can always tell what kind of legendary it's going to be based off its base stat total, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
you have the different levels, right? You have the box art ones, and when the box art ones are what?
Like 720?
680. Most of the time, every single generation that has box art ones are 680, except for Generation 3, which is 670. But those are still actually follow the pattern because Rayquaza is their better, and Rayquaza is a box art, and its box art is 680. So it still fits the pattern. But because he's been explained in the entire story that he is their better or their master or their counterpart, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then you have kind of the in-game hidden ones, the ones that have nothing to do with the story that just randomly you can find if you do if you
Regigigas.
if you do 18 things randomly and find them out, not like Regigigas per se. We're talking about things like
Heatran.
Heatran. We're talking about things like Celebi. We're talking about things like
Well, Celebi's not.
Celebi's
Celebi's base 600 because
yeah,
it's a
that's what I'm saying. They're all
It's a
600. They're all 600s. They're all 600s.
The mythical
Yeah.
style. They're
Yeah.
typically 100 in each stat.
Yeah.
But then you have variations like with Heatran.
Yeah, and then you got the next class, which is going to be your limit breakers. These are the ones that don't follow the mold, that they are whatever they are because they're the freaking powerful things. These are things like Arceus, Mewtwo. These are things, yeah, Giratina is actually
Mewtwo
680.
is a 680.
Yeah, Mewtwo 680 also, but it's not a box art one. But I'm just trying to say it doesn't fit any other pattern because they just
definitely
are what they are. They are what they are. And then you got
You get,
also
Cresselia,
I also
Darkrai.
consider. Yeah, well, those are that have power too, but yeah.
Man,
I was
those
gonna say
are
that those are more
600s.
like-
I didn't even think about
yeah.
that.
And here's the thing, though. Then you have the movie ones, the ones that have nothing to do with the story, are never found in the game, and the only way you get them is through those events later on. Those are the event ones. Those are the Volcanions, the Hoopa and the Hoopas, the things that you will never find in game unless you get go to some event or something like that, because they are movie Pokemon. They are designed to just be at the end of the tail end.
Jirachi.
Yeah. I mean, these are things
Mostly
that you,
mythical, but still.
Yeah.
Mew, Jirachi, Celebi.
and those are all 600 also.
Volcanion.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have
Tolio.
the triads. Okay, the triads. These are the Pokemon that have the
The
3 in
Mozart-
each type.
The Mozart birds, the dogs, the Reggies, the
Lake Trio.
the Lake
Guardians.
Trio, the Guardians, yeah. The
The-
ponies.
Well, the ponies aren't actually one.
There's
It's
10
the
before.
weather. Well, there's
Oh,
4,
yeah.
yeah.
The
Ponies,
Genies.
the ponies
The
actually
Genies.
are one also. The ponies are one.
They were one.
But
there's
4 in
Yeah,
that.
the fourth.
There's a 4th one, but they still fit the theory because they are of the same base stat total
Yeah.
as the groups, and they are of a triad nature.
And
Gen
then there's the
6 didn't
Genie-
have
the-
any.
Yeah, and Gen 6 is the only generation that does not have a triad. And that makes sense because Generation 5 had two, in my opinion. And we see that because what's their base stat total, Scotty, of all those triads?
I thought they were like they're less than 600, right? They're like
Correct.
Yep.
They're all 5'8".
580.
All 5'8". Every member of every triad, including the Musketeer quadroon, is 580. 580 is how it's always been since Generation 1, and it's never been buffed, never been done anything like that. And here's the thing, Scotty. This is the one time I'm gonna actually go stat wise with you on a specific Pokemon. So I apologize for burning this for you. This is one thing that I'm really makes me question the validity of the data mines. The things that leaked everything.
Yeah.
Now, I think they're pretty accurate, but I think that they have like maybe a little bit off. And the issue is Tapu Koko and the Tapu family.
Okay.
They're
like,
legendaries.
Island Guardians. Okay.
Yeah, they're legendaries. They're of a triune nature. They fit the triune build.
There's at least 4 of them that I've seen, right?
There's four of them.
Yep.
But they still fit the bill.
Okay.
They still fit the bill.
Ponies, just like the Musketeers.
Yes, exactly. They still fit the build.
Yeah.
And what's the base stat total supposed to be then?
580.
580. It's not. According to the data mine, it's 570. That weirds me out. Like that weirds me out. I'm an OCD person. That weirds me out. That does not make sense to me. These Pokemon should be 580s. 6 generations. They've done it that way. 6 generations. They've released six different trio / quadroons that have had this type of setup, this type of plot, this type of point in the story, this purpose in each individual region, and they've all been 580s.
That's great.
And now they're going to change that? I don't think so. This is Pokemon we're talking about. Every single Eevee is 525. We left this day one.
Yeah.
When they released Sylveon, there was no guessing as to what the base stat total was going to be. It was going to be 525. When you release a new star Pokemon, you know it's going to be roughly 530 for the fully evolved version of a starter Pokemon. Correct?
Yeah. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this for audience. There are 0 Pokemon to date with a base stat total of 570. 0.
0.
Closest
0.
Closest is Archeops with 567 in
Correct.
that range. Arcanine has 555, and then you get into Megas that are like in the 560 to 580 range.
Maybe now they thought, oh my gosh, we don't have any 570s. Let's just throw a bunch of 570s at them.
But that still does not make sense for Pokemon's formula. We knew Como-O was because it was gonna be the region's pseudo legendary. We already knew what its base stat total was gonna be, right, Scotty? A pseudo legendary. What's the base stat total of a pseudo legendary?
Pseudo legendary like Dragonite.
Yeah. 600.
600.
Every region's pseudo legendary that is a dragon-esque Pokemon is 600. Every region.
Dragon-esque.
They're all dragon-esque.
600.
Even T-Tar.
It's not dragon, but Hydreigon.
Metagross ain't no dragon.
T-Tar is dragon-esque. It's not
600.
Yeah. T-Tar.
Metagross is 600. Salamence is 600.
Metagross is my favorite dragon-esque Pokemon.
But you know what I'm saying, though. It's a pseudo legendary, but it's the only one generation that has 2 pseudo legendaries. But the point is, though, is that you've got.
No, that's Mega Aggron. Never mind. I got really excited for Mega Aggron.
That's the thing, though, is that you've got Pokemon is predictable in how the thing is, and when I say that, that's not a bad thing.
No.
It's familiar. It allows you to be able to make sense of things, and this is where I have the biggest issue with it right there, and what makes me question it the most. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying that it leads me to believe that they have some things off, because never in their history, never in 6 generations has there been a 570 Pokemon, and now they're trying to put a legendary Quadroon, which still fits the build that the ponies had in Generation 5.
Yeah.
And they're trying to say now that they're going to lower the base stat total of those to a lower number that's never been used before. I don't think so. So what do you think, Scotty? What do you think? Am I full of it or am I just crazy?
I think there could be some validity to like the data miners and everything that they did try to mask a lot of stuff in it. That's one of the reasons I've never really taken stock in it or cared to listen to. But I could also see them changing things just because they feel like changing things sometimes. Because they've come out and said like, we don't really look at the past games when we make a new game. We just make a game. That's how they started. That's how they plan things. So I could see it both ways. I could Schrodinger this completely.
I get you on that. I get you on that. It's just
possibilities.
It's again just one of those things that just it takes me by surprise and confuses me a little bit. That's all it really comes down to. Is just when you have they may say they don't look at past games. They have to, because you can't introduce a whole bunch of new Pokemon and not base their abilities, stats, and values off of the previous generations. If you don't do that, you know what you get? You get a bunch of Pokemon that either can't hang with old Pokemon, or a bunch of Pokemon that overpower the shiznickel out of new Pokemon.
Maybe they're like, hey, we want to make these pseudo legendary. We want to make these little minor legendaries. But look how how overpowered these other ones are. Let's go back just a smidge, just a little smidge, like maybe 10 total base stats. And
you say that, but once you see what they did with them, you're gonna be like, no.
There are clearly some of these legendaries that are in this generation that I believe are going to be kind of like the Moltres, kind of like the Articuno. Instant low tiers, and it's not because they're bad Pokemon. It's because they mentally do not make sense to me. And these are again, this whole generation was designed for VGC and not for singles play. But you still got to do singles play in mind. But I don't know. That's just my personal thought.
Well, even that, like, you look at some of the high stats on those things, and you're not about to tell me that thing is not like. You know exactly which one I'm talking about, Lee, but you're not telling me that thing is not from day one going to Ubers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that one is going to Ubers day one. But, there's a thing about this. There are a lot of them that are, just garbage. I mean,
absolutely.
And it's not because they're bad Pokemon or anything like that. It's just that there are some things in this generational setup that really just need to be looked after. And the thing is, no 580 base. There's only one 580 base stat legendary in the history of Pokemon that's actually in the Uber tier. You know what that is? It's Landorus, and it's Landorus Incarnate. Yeah. That's the only one. That's a 580 base stat total that's ever been in the Uber tier, at least in the current generation setup right now, with the way things sit today. So that being the case. Does 10 base stat total points really make these Pokemon any more competitively edged out? I don't think so. So that's why I'm a little confused again by the 570 versus 580.
I kind of want to just say the one thing that we're talking about here, just so John can understand what we're talking about. But that one stat on that one mon, and it's that. There is one of them that has a special attack of 173.
And this is not one of the Tapus.
No, this is one of the Ultra Beasts that has a special attack of 173. So to put that into perspective, the highest...
that Mega Mewtwo Y has 194, Primal Kyogre 180, same with Mega Rayquaza, same with Deoxys, same with... Mega Alakazam has 175.
Correct. And they're sacrificing an item slot.
Yeah.
Kyurem White is probably the closest, other than Deoxys. Kyurem White and Deoxys are the closest because they're not sacrificing an item slot.
Hoopa Unbound doesn't have an item, does it?
Hoopa Unbound?
Well, Mega Rayquaza doesn't have an item, but yeah, it sacrifices a move slot. But here's the scary thing about it.
Kyurem White, Hoopa Unbound.
Hoopa Unbound does?
I don't think it has 170 special attack, but I don't think it has to have an item.
No, it doesn't have an item, but...
It doesn't have to have an item, no. It doesn't have an item.
170 special attack.
Now, And the scarier thing also
But
that
then
so they
you
have
turn
that
on
one.
it.
They have that Ultra Beast at special attack.
Wow.
Then they have one on the physical attack at 181.
Jeez.
Which again, and they're not sacrificing an item slot.
181.
And
That's
also,
stronger than Primal Groudon.
these typings, like the typing of the special one, it's not like Koopa Unbound where it's getting O-code by a
Yeah.
U-turn. These things are going to take a hit
Yeah.
unless it's super effective from another huge wall breaker,
181 physical attack.
and they are going to rip through your
to,
team.
to put into perspective, Mega Heracross has 185.
Sacrificing an item slot.
Yep. The only thing, Deoxys has 180 because it's 180, 180, but it has those 20 defenses.
And like I said, that's the only thing we're going to talk about, right?
White,
We're not going into any more
physical attack.
details. Yeah, and we're not going to go into any more details with that, John. We just don't want. I don't want to go into the hardcore details because you've been trying to avoid this for so long, and I feel bad enough as it is.
I don't care as much about the stats. Like, I really don't want to know, especially for late game stuff.
Like
Because
Snake
once I
of
get to that,
Dumbledore?
it's gonna be fine.
I still feel bad though talking about this stuff with you, John. Because you've been trying to avoid this for so long, Scotty. Man, I feel bad about
I'd
that.
rather learn in this context than in just by Twitter or by someone's YouTube thumbnail.
Oh, okay. Guilty as charged.
How about this perspective? Rampardos, known for like ridiculous physical attack, 165. Less
Same as
attack
Mega
bonus.
Glade.
Same as Mega Glade, Mega Bayonet. Stronger than Mega Tyranitar.
Now, yeah, and like I said,
Stronger than
Slaking
Primal
and
Groudon and
Regigigas.
Prime and
And
Rayquaza.
Mega
Like,
Blaziken and Mega Gyarados and Mega.
it's stronger than Deoxys attack.
right, and like I said, the Ultra Beasts are very much going to own the meta. I mean, as far as what it looks like, from raw, just visual context, they look like they're going to own things for quite some time. But the Tapus, like I was talking about with the 580 base stat total versus 570, they're kind of what we expect from them. They're going to have one or two of them be in the upper tiers, and one or two of them look like they're going to be lower tiers. Just the way it is.
Cool. I love having Moltres and Arcanine in low tiers.
Yeah.
Zapdos is great.
That's where they belong, though.
It's great having one of each in like an OU, and then one of each in like a UU, RU kind of setting, and then an NU and a PU. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's really, I think it's a lot of fun to have them in the lower tiers.
Well, exactly, and it's fun that way as well in draft league formats because you can go scalp hunting for high power in low tiers in terms of base stats.
Oh, dude, Kyurem, tier 3.
Yeah,
always.
tier 3, 600 base stat Pokemon in tier 3. That you can choice
It's
scarf into a
amazing,
max.
amazing typing. It can roost. It can do everything. I ran red card last time I used it. It was a lot of fun.
Oh gosh. But like I said, I mean, the only thing I wanted to talk about that theory, John, Scotty, is that the Tapus just kind of confused me, and I noticed that after day one of looking through it, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. But it's one of those I wanted to ask you about.
I don't know. I think it is valid as far as like, hey, look at that. But then also Pokemon is known for but my patterns. Isn't that
Right.
a very popular Pokemon meme? My patterns.
What?
The patterns. Everyone's like, but my patterns. But patterns.
Anyway, guys, we're gonna wrap it
Okay,
up here.
what we have to do around the house.
Oh yeah.
So In the House is also brought to you by ICL, which has entered its week 2. That's the Infinity Community League that kind of matches up with the Infinity Draft League. So some news for the Infinity Draft League. Katie Bell, aka the Lusty Lapras, due to her excessive work schedule that she's entered into during the holiday season, she's dropped out and she has been replaced by Breezy Bree.
The breeziest
of Pokemon Center.
Pokemon Center.
So we're very happy to have her joined in. ICL is going really strong. It's good to have so many people in the community just involved. We've been recording a lot more Jeopardy. We're getting ready to start a bunch of new projects for the new year that aren't even Pokemon Sun and Moon related, just so you have alternating content. So it's not just all Sun and Moon, but we are playing our Sun and Moon House Infinity Let's Play between Katie, Vampire, and myself. where we're going to be trying to complete the regional decks as quickly as possible. That way we can get on with like shiny hunting, competitive battling, free for alls, things like that, and just really immerse ourselves into the story and enjoy it. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have some elements similar to like a rival lock where we can battle each other and just have a good old adventure. I know Leva's gonna be doing a lot of stuff on his channel as far
Absolutely.
as like competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I'm going to be doing myself is obviously game, just hardcore pounding it out the first,
Hardcore pounding.
the 3 or 4 first days of the game. I'm just going to be like, A Drive says 151 hours straight stream. You know what? I'm gonna go for 152. No, I'm just kidding
really
around.
do that?
No, that'd be dangerous. He's going for one. His tag for the last 3 weeks has been like 151 hour stream. I'm like, you're not
Is
doing
that
that.
cumulative? Because that's almost a week.
Yeah, that's what he's saying though. Like, I mean, I think it's him and like 2 other partners, but yeah.
Okay,
So I
That's
mean,
why
Taking
they
it
to have
for
3
2
other.
weeks.
They have 3 people doing it.
yeah, and so I mean, here's my thought. I'm probably gonna be doing
I guess if that's
a
your
lot
job.
of. I'm gonna be trying to like pound it out for like the first few days and all that jazz. But then I'm going to be able to really look into the competitive side because Showdown says they're gonna be up and ready like 3 or 4 days after the release,
That'd be cool.
which is good for me because Showdown's really the ultimate tool for quick team building, quick analysis, quick practice, quick everything. And so my thing is one of the things you can expect on my channel very quickly out is as soon as I feel competent, and when I say competent, I want to get at least 50 appearances under my belt for each of the new Pokemon that are fully evolved. I will start releasing competitive analysis videos for how to use these Pokemon in competitive plays, showing you 3 or 4 set builds for each of these Pokemon that I feel actually works. And I want to show that to you guys. So I'm excited for that.
That would be really exciting. Alright, guys. Don't know when we're going to do the next In the House. Probably after Sun and Moon comes out pretty soon. Guess it comes out Friday.
Yeah.
Friday,
I have so much. I have works all day Saturday. So I might get a digital copy. I might get Sun to play, like just to play, and then have Moon to play in our Let's Play. Because I'm going to want to sit at work and play when I have free time.
Heck yeah.
I'm not going to be able to play, like, I have Strike Yellow on my phone right now, and I love Strike Yellow. I'm friends with the guy who made it. It's an amazing ROM hack if you've ever wanted to play a ROM hack. And it's Gen 1, it's a yellow hack, and it's just an amazing update. It's challenging, it's fun. It's the most fun I've had in a Gen 1 game in a long time. I have it on my phone. There's no way I'm going to touch that when Sun and Moon comes out for at least a month. Because it's all going to be Sun and Moon.
And that's what I'm feeling as well too. Like, it's going to be one heck of a ground and pound session in terms of just hitting the game. Like, I'm excited, man. You can catch most of us will be on Twitch for like that first week. I'll probably be doing. I won't be posting my Let's Play to my channel, but I will be posting like Easter. If I find like a really interesting Easter egg, I'll post it on there.
Yeah.
If I find like a dead fish on the side of the road, I mean, I'll probably post it that too.
Confirmed real animals in Pokemon. Dead fish.
Exactly.
I think what I'm really looking forward to in our triple play is that it's going to be a lot like when we were kids and you're just sitting around playing the game, trading Pokemon, talking about what's happening, just enjoying the game together. As far as like, I know there's this huge rush to get to competitive, to get to everything like that, but I still want to just enjoy the game. I want to enjoy the ride.
And I hope I can. And I hope I actually don't. Like, one of the things that I so often forget to do that with games, man. Like, I so often forget to do that. Like, just you start like you think to yourself like, I want to get to the game, but you're playing the game to get to the game, and like you forget that you're playing the game, and that's like, I don't want to have that happen this generation. I want to really enjoy it.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've been enjoying with doing the co-ops that Vampire and I have been recording to release in like December. Is that we're getting a lot of story-driven ROM hacks, a lot of story-driven fan-made games. So like the battle mechanics are all the same, but it's really challenging. It makes you think in the battles, but then the story is what really drives it. And we're enjoying a new take on, and that's what Sun and Moon is. It's a new take on an established world.
And that's one thing I love. Like, one thing I love about a lot of the recent
Yeah.
RPG games that come out is that so often in the past when we were growing up, Scotty, like the RPGs were fully focused on grinding, which
Yeah.
I think it was good because it made the games longer because
Yeah.
there wasn't any data for the games. But at the same time, we have the capabilities now to have great stories,
Yep.
and we don't need to grind for 17 hours to beat one boss.
Yep.
You know, I really hope that this game really does have that kind of feel of a good story. That's one of the reasons why they gave the experience, the full power experience share,
Yeah.
in the
Just
recent
gets you
generations,
through it. Unless
because it
you
can help.
unless you do what I like to do, which Vampire hates when I do it in games, where
Guys, I'm going to bed. I
I
got
switch
work
my
in the
team.
morning.
I switch my team constantly. All right, you can. I was just gonna ask a real quick question.
Yeah, what's up?
Favorite non-Pokemon RPG? Like, what do you think the best? Like, if you had to be like, here's one RPG that you can play.
Oh, my favorite's obviously Cory in the House.
Yeah, of course.
It's my favorite.
It's
Anyway, I'm going to bed,
Canada
guys.
exclusive. Good night, Vampire.
Bye.
As far as me, like, I'm about individual game or series.
Individual game.
Individual game. Come on, man. Final Fantasy 7. I have to go with
See,
Final
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy
7.
sounds great. I was immediately like thinking about Final Fantasy 3, which has like the most characters that you get to play. Final Fantasy Tactics, which has an amazing story. But I'm gonna
Well,
go to Mario
Final
RPG
Fantasy
immediately.
3. You mean Final Fantasy 6?
6, 3, 6, yeah, the Super Nintendo
Yeah,
one. But I'm gonna
yeah.
say Mario RPG.
That one was
And
pretty good
that's
too.
one where you don't have to grind, and it's very story driven, character driven. It's fun, and it doesn't make you have to grind over and over and over and over. It keeps the story moving, and you love it. But it's quick, but you love it.
That's kind of how I felt. I felt that way when I played Kingdom Hearts the first time. I felt that way when I played
But it's still Disney.
Final Fantasy 13 for the first time too. That's kind of how it felt.
Really,
It felt more
13.
it felt more like a movie and and more of it like an experience and less like a grind bone game.
Yeah.
Which I love. I love that. I love that. I love that.
I think modern RPGs are moving to the same way Pokemon is, where you have the option, where it's like you can totally grind, and that's fine, cool, do whatever, but you don't have to. But we're still gonna put some challenges in for you.
Right, and that's one of the things that I love about Pokemon. Like another game in a series that I actually love. Occasionally I want to just make myself cry in terms of difficulty, and the game series I'm talking about is Shin Megami Tensei, which is
Oh,
by
wow.
Atlas, and they make just the most evil RPGs ever in terms of just it. Like it's basically a lot of their games have a Pokemon feel mechanic, even though the games come out first. Where basically you make packs with monster demon type things and just be
Okay.
able to use them alongside you. But what's mean about them is that the difficulty spikes are everywhere. Like they're random, and whenever they happen, and you gotta like grind for like 25 hours to get past
That
it.
see those random like, oh, you're dead moments remind me of like really badly made old Nintendo games, where it's
Oh,
like,
gosh.
okay, you've been running from Jason, oh, he's there, you're dead, you didn't have a chance. It reminds me of that frustration of like, why did I even play? What am I doing? What's the point?
And occasionally I like that in a game, just to remind me that I'm not the best game player of all time.
That's fun, yeah.
Because sometimes like you play Pokemon, you play some of these games that are a little bit more simpler, and all of a sudden, it's just like, wait a second here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
But
But all right, guys, we're we're going to end on that strange note. Pokemon Sun and Moon comes out Friday at midnight going into Saturday, right? Or midnight going into Friday.
midnight going on Friday, I think.
Midnight going into Friday, which means I have Friday morning off, and I will be playing as much as
So,
possible.
Yeet,
And
clickety
then I'm
hop.
going to be exhausted Friday night when I'm like, I don't care about the show. Call your own cues. Boom, 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 boom. I just want to play Sun and Moon. All right. So Sun and Moon, Sun and Moon, Sun and Moon, Sun and Moon. House Infinity, House Infinity. Make sure you check the link below for. Make sure you check the description below for links to things like the House Infinity Community Discord, where you can come in, you can participate in series that we do, you can talk with us, chat with us, just hang out, just have a good time. Everyone's always doing stuff. People are always looking for league participants. People are always looking for like battles and tests, and it's just bustling with activity. It's like a city marketplace. I love it. I love what we've been growing over the last few months. in there.
And we do have hagglers in there where they were holding up dead fish and just go
Yeah.
2 fish $1, 2 fish $1, and I
Dead
say
fish
no.
tonight. What? Is there something smelly in your apartment? What's happening?
No, like I'm just really
There's
hungry
nothing.
right now.
So you're
I'm
thinking dead
really
fish. So dead fish means like fish sticks to you, right?
man, like I'm not gonna lie. If I had a microwave right now, I would totally go get some fish sticks right now.
Do you not have a microwave?
My microwave blew up because I had an
Too many
experiment. I
fish
had an
sticks.
experiment. No, I had an experiment.
You wanted to know what was inside of a marble? Been there.
Um,
I don't
it wasn't
trust
quite that.
microwaves still. Is that very 90s of me? Like
It
we
is.
still don't know
It
how
is.
microwaves work. They've been out for like 20 years. I still don't trust them. I still don't want to stand near them when they're going.
Yeah, they scare the crap out of me, man. Because like mine caught on fire last time I used it. That's why I don't have one anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd rather use the oven, which is like I'm gonna try to catch this thing on fire, and then put food in here. But it's a controlled burn.
yeah,
I
but like
understand how
mine,
it
mine
works.
actually caught on fire. Like it scared the crap out of me.
No thanks. I use it reluctantly every once in a while. I think I've probably used our microwave, mine and Sam's, like twice the entire time I've lived here. Over the last year, I've probably used it 2 times.
Well, the worst part about it though is that like like here's the problem is I'm a single guy, so you know what my ultimate problem is. Every time I go to the marketplace, I'm walking through an aisles and aisles and aisles of food that looks good when you're hungry.
Oh yeah.
So you walk out of there with 3 cheesecakes, a bag of Pop Tarts, and 4 bags of Tostitos pizza rolls, and
Yeah,
you look at
you
yourself.
definitely have to eat before you go in. What's
Yeah.
really nice
Oh,
about our HEB that we have out here is there's a hot dog vendor outside. He's got like the like all the Mexican hot dogs and they're great.
oh,
So we
so
grab
he
like a
knows. So
$1
he
hot
knows.
dog and we just go in and then we're like, okay, good on resisting a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because all of a sudden that cheesecake doesn't smell so good.
Yeah,
Like all of a
otherwise
sudden.
I would have like 5 jars of hummus and like 20 bags of pita chips.
God, that
every
sounds
time.
so good right
It
now.
does sound really good.
Oh,
It does sound really good. I'm
oh.
gonna raid the fridge too. We had. Oh, I should have grabbed the leftover pizza from tonight. Alright, so we'll go ahead and actually get off of this podcast, but make sure you're checking out the series from House Infinity. Make sure you're hanging out with us so you can be in series on House Infinity. Follow us on Twitter. You can chat with us all the time. We're very open and welcoming, so don't be afraid to approach us. Hey, Keaton. Hey, buddy. Shh. I'll be with you in a second. Alright, guys. Thanks so much for joining Levo, Vamp, and me. And we'll be back soon with more house content. More Sun and Moon, more Pokemon.
Peace.
Bye.